Good afternoon, yogis. Let's see. Got a few more minutes. I'm so looking forward to my meditation today, and doing it with others is always an added bonus. Kind of gets you there as well, gets you to your mat, gets you to that practice. Whatever it takes sometimes is really helpful. And if you are out there and you want to just give a wave and say hello, it's always lovely to know you're there. And I encourage you, do not have to stay the whole time for this meditation. But I encourage you to begin to build that practice for yourself, that commitment to yourself. This is such an incredible time in our lives where you can actually take this time where you can just go a little deeper, right? And commit to ourselves. Just allowing yourself just a moment throughout the day, or 5 minutes, or this time together, which really ends up about, 20 minutes or so. But the more you make this commitment to yourself and to this practice, you begin to recognize over time that this routine, this helps shift from a space of external self and kind of reacting to the world, which I very much do at times when I feel anxious. And it takes you more into a place of less reactive and more into a place of just love, of really gentle kindness and love to yourself. So again, I ask you to try and find that commitment, try and find that routine. And that's why I'm offering sort of this a couple of times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And just to help you sort of tap into a quiet space inside you. And as I've said, it doesn't have to be for the full time. Taking what you can, maybe setting your clock for 5 minutes or 10 minutes of this time together. But just noticing that the practice kind of builds over time, right? So not rushing it so that you run away from it and feel like you've failed at it, but just being patient and kind to yourself as you kind of breathe into stillness, right? Stilling the mind so that you can open up the body, the heart a little bit more. And, as you dig into this, it's not always easy. You might find even in a 3-minute or 5-minute meditation or sitting that your mind is just so busy and so active. And really remember that you kind of have to dig, when you're searching for the jewel, sometimes you have to dig in there, right? And it doesn't show itself immediately. And so just really take that time, a little bit at a time, and that patience to find what I call them the little morsels that open my heart up a little bit more and let my mind quiet and settle a little bit more. So today, as we take our practice working towards that breathing, sort of focusing our minds towards breathing, and this sort of mindful practice, you can focus your mind to other things. It might be a candle, something external. It might be a mantra or counting. I just love the breathing because the breathing is always, this breath is always with us. And I think it's just such a lovely reminder. You don't need anything. You can just bring your mind into the breath and settle there. So that's always kind of that practice, not always, but most of the time, the practice that I work with, unless I'm doing the mantra on my own or the mala counting, which we're touching a little bit more in the beginner practice in the Zoom, so where I can interact a little bit more one-on-one with you all. So as we begin, I just want you to begin by sort of settling in and just Finding a comfortable position. So I'm sitting up on a sort of zafu, a little kind of beaded cushion. I have a block under my knee. I have a dachshund sitting in my lap. And just allow, wherever you are, just allow your body to settle. Just kind of move around, whether you're laying down on the floor or on your bed or sitting in a chair. Whatever it is, just allow yourself to quiet and settle. And just feel the body begin to relax. And allow your eyes to close, or you can keep them slightly opened. Whatever feels comfortable, allow it to be a soft gaze. And just we'll begin by taking a few long, soft, slow breaths. And just taking the breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Just quieting your body and connecting your mind to the physical body. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your nose. Just taking a few more breaths. Allow your breath to find its own natural rhythm. Bring your attention to just noticing the inhale as it enters your nose, travels down into your lungs. And notice the out breath, the exhale, as your belly contracts and air moves up through the lungs, back through the nostrils. And just invite your attention to come here. Let it flow with your breath. Just bringing the mind to the spaciousness of the breath. Following these inhales. And following these exhales. And again, bringing your attention to noticing each inhale, each in-breath as it enters your nostrils, travels down into your lungs, feeling the belly expand, and then noticing each out-breath as your belly contracts and the air moves up through the lungs and back through the nostrils. Just connect to this. Noticing with each inhale the difference of the exhale. Just notice how the sensation of the breath feels in your body, following it, being present for it. Just follow the breath. Just allowing yourself to turn more deeply inward. Beginning to let go of the sensations and sounds of the outside world. And noticing again when your mind might feel distracted by a sound or a thought. Just bring it back and just begin again, following that breath. Quieting the mind endlessly with the breath. Not trying to change anything, just allowing the breath to rise and fall. notice these tickles at the end of the nose as the breath travels in and releases out. And if you notice your mind wanders off into thoughts, just bring it back. Come back to the breath. Come back to the rise and fall of the breath. And just allowing yourself to go deeper as you bring the mind back to the focus of the breath. Softening the muscles of your neck, of your face, as you just settle in to the breath. And when you find your mind has wandered off into thoughts or plans or stories, just draw it back. Simply notice your mind has wandered and just watch it and bring it back. Just practicing kindness and patience to yourself, to this practice. Just feel the rhythm of your body as it flows in and flows out with the breath. And just allowing yourself to detach from the thoughts. Just come into that space of kindness and love. Following the breath. Again, when you notice the mind has wandered off, just let it come back. Practice coming home to your body with the breath. Feeling each inhale, each exhale. Notice where it is in your body. The sensations of the breath in your body. And when you find a mind is distracted by a thought or a sensation, simply release it, let it go, and just return. Return to the breath, the inhales and the exhales. And just feel the breath in your body soften into the breath, allowing this breath to be spacious for the mind, and spacious for your heart, and spacious for the physical body. Not judging or giving up when the mind has wandered off. Just kindly bring it back. Just be. All we're doing is just training the mind to be more comfortable with stillness. Training the mind to allow you to have more peacefulness at times in your life, maybe building on that so that you can walk more smoothly and quietly and peacefully with self, less reactive, less immediate, and more relaxing and softening into the heart. Feel the breath. Notice the breath. If your mind becomes distracted, maybe by a body part, right? Maybe the foot, the hip, or the muscles of the back. See if you can take the breath there. Maybe sitting a little taller, or just shifting that foot and just allowing yourself that, being kind to that, and then resettling into the breath. Letting go into the breath. And if your mind gets distracted by a thought and you find that you have been in a conversation, in a story, in negativity, or just elsewhere, just smile at that gently, kindly, and bring it back. Bring the mind back to the breath, to this heart space of the breath. judging yourself, but allowing yourself to just settle. Allowing yourself this time to just be exploring the thoughts when they come in and just letting them go, setting them free. Coming back into the space of you. The space of right here. Just breathing in and breathing out. Just allowing yourself to go deeper into your life, into your practices, into who you are right now. Shifting your tendencies at times through just stillness, through stepping back and just observing. Noticing the breath in your body, where it is, where it feels the most natural to observe. Maybe the tickle at the nose, maybe the expansion and release, maybe those inhales, maybe those exhales. I love to listen to the sound of the breath. It's a lovely sound like the ocean waves as they flow in and flow out. There's a soft vibration of the breath. And bring that distracted mind back. Bring it back to the breath. Back to this mindful breathing meditation. That's it. Letting go of judgment. Just noticing those times that you get lost into the breath, how that feels. And just remember those feelings of just following the breath, feeling the rise and fall. The mind being quiet, even if for a brief moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Just following that breath. Just mindfully being present for the breath. Not judging it when it wanders away. Just bring it back. No matter what it is that might draw your attention, a thought, a sound, a sensation. Don't judge it, just returning to the breath. Again, all we're doing is just training this mind, softening the thoughts, endlessly bringing the mind back, focusing towards the breath, whatever element of the breath it is for you. Just staying with this breath. As we begin to come to the close of this breath, just notice again the sensations, the sounds of the space around you. Notice how your body feels. Notice each breath again. Just bring all of the thoughts into your heart now, to that heart center. Just being kind to yourself with this practice. And softly opening your eyes, noticing how you feel. And taking that feeling with you this evening into the evening, into your days. And just remembering that you can endlessly come back to the breath and not let that mind wander too wildly, and just learning to come back to this gift of here and now. Thank you for sitting with me today. Such a treat. And I wish you a lovely evening. Namaste.